websites, one on floridapolitics.com and the other one on orlandorising.com.
OrlandoRising.com.
We've got some other sites they'll appear on occasion as well.
Good, brother. Well, I want you. I'm very grateful, and I'm very grateful for two things. Our friendships always started in sincerity, and it started with the right foot. So I'm grateful for your friendship.
Me too.
Another thing that you've always come to me with asking questions about the perspective of Latinos for different issues. And I'm grateful for that too, because we have to bring that in the forefront. Scott, within Central Florida, in one of your articles, you wrote about a fray or a split that happened between a club that was sponsored by the Republican Party of Florida and OCREC. Can you tell us a little bit of what happened? I know that many people could go to and see and read the article, but do you believe that there's a split within the Republican Party in Central Florida?
Yes and no. I mean,
Okay.
in this particular case, there's some other factors involved here. What we're talking about is within Orange County, a gentleman by the name of Randy Ross last year was the Orange County chairman for the Donald Trump president campaign. Trump actually won Orange County, which was a surprise. Wait, I might need to check on that. But at any rate,
I don't think. Did he?
No, he did. He lost it by it was a close vote.
He lost it by less. That's what it was. He lost it by less than was expected. But at any rate, so Randy Ross, after probably no chance in hell, challenge for the county leadership, founded a club called the Orange County Republicans for Trump Club. That club was chartered by the Republican Party and existed for a few months and grew somewhat. About a month ago, the Republican Party was getting reports that there were some questions about the finances of this group. They looked into the finances. They had Mr. Ross in. They talked about it a little bit and determined, according to the party, that there were some real serious financial irregularities. Nothing that would suggest that money was being stolen or anything like that. But the fact of the matter was, there wasn't the proper bookkeeping to run a lemonade stand, apparently, let alone a significant club. And consequently, there were some real questions about whether or not this was a financially appropriate way to run any significant organization. So the party says that they recommended that the club be stripped of its charter. Around the same time, Mr. Ross said that he was getting pushback from the party on a number of things, including his refusal to keep it limited only to Republicans. He was saying if Democrats or Independents wanted to join the club, he wanted to welcome them in, and the party didn't like that. So he, about the same time, said, I don't want your charter. You can take it. And this happened just about simultaneously, so whether or not the split occurred because the party didn't like how the finances were being handled, or whether it occurred because Mr. Ross didn't like the party trying to tell him what to do with the club, it split. Now, whether or not that split has wider ramifications for Republicans and others in Orange County who want to align themselves either with the county party or with the club, feeling that they are better represented by one or the other, is sort of a secondary issue on that.
You're right about that.
Mr. Ross is emphatic that that's the case, and that the county leaders were very uncomfortable with seeing how that was going down, and that was one of their motivations. Of course, the party leaders are saying, no, that's not the case. This was all about the financial accountability of this club. So there is, and always has been, and probably always will be, in any county party, whether it's Democrats or Republicans, splits between people that want to go in this direction, people who want to go that direction. That's happening. There's no question about that. It happened 3, 4, 5 years ago when we saw the Tea Party movement in this area, and it's happening again now. Whether or not that's because of this club or whether that's just natural strong disagreements people have over time. I'm not convinced one way or the other on that one.
Well, I respect that, and I feel in the tea kettle part of it, I feel that this is what happens when there's a cross of opinions between the Republican Party and people that want to create the club. Because again, many people had said that HRO wanted to try and infringe into OCRAC, and no, they were trying to seed information that was not right. That I wanted to try and take Lou Oliver's position, which is false. I have higher expectations. I'm sorry, Lou, but I have higher expectations. You can keep OCRAC all you want. One of the things I think you don't know was that after we had that experience that where a couple of people from HRO were mysteriously dropped, myself included, from the membership of OCRAC, the board of HRO came to me and said, hey, well, if they're not going to let us play fair, we're not going to recognize them. And HRO came up with its own decision and said the Orange County Executive Committee is nothing but a club to HRO. So that was it. And we kept on doing. You know that we did a fundraiser. You went to it.
Yes.
Lou Oliver had hinted that HRO was had minimal memberships. You saw a full house of almost 250 people there. So, you know, the matter of it is that when the there could be opinions floating back and forth, but in the material world where we have to produce expectations for the party has to come up and say, hey, we have to get away with this big group. That's my understanding as a Republican, as a chairman of a Republican organization. We have to try and find a common ground. Wayne, you're the common ground for District 9.
Yeah, I'd like not to have an opinion, but of course, this is an opinionated show, so I'm allowed to have one.
Yeah.
I've had to deal with 3 Republican parties, Polk, Orange, and Osceola. By far, I think the Polk County Republican Party is solid the way it's run from my observation. I try not to get into the nitty gritty because I don't need to know that. I don't, you know, they help candidates, and I try to understand and make sure I follow their rules and regulations when I go to each different party. It does seem that Orange County does seem to have a bit of a, I don't want to say an identity problem. I think it's a lot of people want to be chiefs and not enough Indians.
Exactly.
Is that probably a good?
You're totally correct. I agree with your assessment. In Spanish is hay mucho cacique y poco indio. A lot of chiefs and very little Indians.
But I'm not here to insult anybody either. I just want
no.
people to get together because I understand the Democratic Party is in probably just as much disarray as the Republican Party is in different counties.
Exactly.
Osceola County, I think they're, and I'm hoping they get it together when it comes to their group. I know quite a few people there, and I could say some things. I was at a disadvantage with them this past election.
All right.
I hope the disadvantage does not repeat itself, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Good.
You know, I don't want to insult anybody. We just need to get the right people in play, and when I'm out there too, because I do see the Hispanic group out signing people up and getting, and I've observed. You know, there's no, over the Democrats, Republicans, a lot more NPAs, and I'm all for that. I had, when I was there, because she was working to get registration, I didn't mean to change the subject here, but it's very important that they understand. If somebody's 18 years old and they're going in to get a registration at the DMV, they're very proud of getting their driver's license, and I said, you can do that. She goes, well, which party? And of course, she can't recommend anything. I probably can, because I'm not part of that. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm a Republican, and it'd be very easy for me to say, go register Republican, but I think you're too young to really understand what the two differences, and I don't want to convince you one way or the other. So do yourself a favor and register as an NPA, because then you can vote for anybody you really want.
Exactly.
And I said, when you understand what the politics are, and when you really understand, then don't let me or anybody else convince you you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. Be an NPA, and because you can change 5, 6, 10 times a year if you want. It doesn't really matter how many times you But when you decide, he came out, he says, I register as an independent. I said, very good, thank you. He said, but I think I'm going to be a Republican. I said, by God, I love that. You know, I mean,
yeah. So it's the matter of the education.
you got to educate it. But see, and that's, and I'm sure, like I said, the Democratic, they probably have the same. And I've heard they're disarray. I've heard a lot of Democrats going NPAs as well.
Oh,
Matter of fact, a candidate that ran not directly against me in the primary, they went NPA. Several people went NPA because they were very mad at their party. I said, well, there's a lot of people that are mad at
NPA is the fastest growing party in Florida right now. And in a lot of counties, NPA has already exceeded one party or the other, and probably will exceed both parties in some counties. I'm
one of them.
Yeah, a lot of people, regardless of what their personal political philosophies are, or what their personal political opinions are on whatever specific issues that they have that are near and dear to them, are fed up with the parties and
We're more focused on the person itself.
Yes.
and that allows them to focus on the person themselves and
vote the person, not the party, and then I have to earn your vote.
Yeah.
I have to go out.
But
and
then we
actually
end up
earn your
doing our
vote.
research on that person.
But you know,
Instead of
anybody can
focusing
do
on the
that
party.
too. Anybody can do that too. I mean, you can look up my registration. I'm not going to say it right now in the air, but my registration does exist in one party, and I will tell you that I vote a split ticket every single time I go into the booth. And by split ticket, I mean it almost works out to, I like this guy better on this class. Next level down, I like this guy better. Next one down, I'm going with this person. Next one down, I'm going with this person. And really, because I'm in a fortunate position where I get to know the candidates pretty well. I get to know the issues pretty well, and I look for sincerity. I look for sort of an independent spirit of a candidate, somebody that I'm confident can think for themselves and is consistent in doing that. I look for somebody who has humanity and compassion for the people that they'll be representing. Those cross-party lines everywhere, and in almost every election you can say this person of this party's got it and this one don't, or the person of this party's got it and this one don't, and you can go all the way down the line with that.
Scott, I'm going to ask you off the air what you voted for.
Well, Scott, thank you very much. But we got 7 minutes, and I got to give some time to my executive producer. She got some stuff to say. But anyway, first of all, guys, I don't know if you like sports, but we're teaming up with Live Pro Wrestling, and on September 1st, Friday at 7:30, the doors open. We're going to have a wrestling match. If you like the future of wrestling, it's right here in Team Vision Dojo in Narcoossee Road. You could call 407-334-2200. And we're for next Tuesday we're gonna have. But Scott, I need you to come back, dude. I really do. But we're gonna have this wrestling. The doors open at 7:30. The show starts at 8. That's gonna be Friday, September 1st, September 22nd. We're gonna have, and October 13th and November 10th, December 1st. We have the whole calendar. Look it up on our YouTube page and BBN Info, Bilingual Broadcasting Network, and YouTube. And of course, every Tuesday here and Listen to Me, we're gonna be talking about Team Dojo Live Pro Wrestling.
Yep.
And also, you have a sponsor that we're going to be talking about also, right?
We have Checkup Sports. He actually in Michigan.
Cool.
And they're going to be sponsoring fine ladies of wrestling.
Good,
so
good,
they're
good.
giving us a few of their apparels, and I can't wait. And they're watching us in Michigan. What's up?
Michigan, what's up? Yeah. All right. So that's good. And
we also have a fashion show. Rich
Yes.
Designs are interested in sponsoring us as well. With Listen to Me and Fine Ladies of Wrestling. So let's keep our fingers crossed. It's a Orlando Global Fashion Week coming
All
December.
right,
And
yes.
guess who's in the fashion show?
yes,
Mimi.
Mimi. Yeah. All right. So this is your first fashion show.
No,
or what?
actually, I've been doing it since I was 13 years old, but I stopped at 20 when I had my son.
And now you're coming
I'm
back.
coming back, and
Yes.
he's in the show too.
All
a 9-year-old.
right. Yeah. All right. All right. And your son's going to be in the fashion
He's
show
gonna be in the
also.
his first fashion show because he's a little actor.
Okay.
So
good,
yeah,
good, good,
so
good,
he's
good.
open-minded.
And I can say she's very fashionable, even sitting here at the microphone.
Oh, and your son's what, 3 or 4?
He's 9 years old.
Oh, nine.
Yeah.
I'll give you the benefit of that.
Thank you.
Come on,
Thank
just
you.
put
That
up
was a
with
fast
it.
9 years.
I'll never lie about my age. That's one thing. I'm just happy to be here still.
All right. And we have next Tuesday. Please be in tune of Listen to Me because we have some very exciting news. We may be nominated for the SACRO IMPERIO Awards for Best Radio Show of the Year. So this is our second nomination in less than 10 months of this show being live.
Yeah,
so we're very, very fortunate. We are going to get a certification of our nominations for the next show. So hopefully that is good. So thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. Gracias, mi gente. This is, to tell you the truth, we were nominated for the Paoli Awards, which is a Spanish award show. It's like the Puerto Rican version of the Emmys. And the SACRO IMPERIO Awards is more based on the community, the work that's been done to the community and how we've been doing. So
awesome.
Our work that we've been talking about Venezuela, what's happening in Venezuela.
Community relations.
Politics. Yes, I'm an opinionated man, but yes, because we've been talking about politics. So Wayne, thank you for making my show and Mimi's and my show really great. Is there any last parting words that you would like to say before we close out?
We're putting out the petitions. That's my main concern right now is get it signed. Obviously, fundraising is something I'm weak in, but I always believe, turn your weakness into your strength. So that's what I've got to work on this year.
And off the air, you and I will talk about that so we can help you in doing some fundraising. We're going to help you with Osceola. We're going to help you with parts of Orange County that need work.
Well, we do have a gun. We don't call it a raffle. We call it donations. An AR-15 with a double trigger. That's going on right now. You can go on the website and you can order through that. Send out the tickets. But be that as it may, that's it. I'm glad to see Scott come on the air. That's great.
What's the website?
WayneForCongress.com.
Okay,
www.
Vayan a WayneForCongress.com para que ayuden al próximo congresista por el Distrito Nuevo, Wayne Levinsky, que lo vamos a poner en el Congreso y vamos a sacar ese tipo. All right, Scott, thank you so much for being on our show. You want to say some last words, please?
I just remind everybody to pray for Texas and remember that what they're going through is not going to be solved next week. These poor people are going to be facing a long struggle to recover from this, and whatever you can do for them over the next few months, maybe over the next year even, is going to be needed to bring that city back. We all remember how long it took New Orleans to come back. Houston's facing the same thing.
And my dear brother, please, for our listeners, again, listening worldwide, you have a web page also that can be seen worldwide. What are those web pages again?
FloridaPolitics.com or Orlando-Rising.com.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Scott. All right, Mimi, we're back to the end of another great show. This is the reason, esta es la razón porque nosotros estamos siendo nominados fuimos nominados por los Paoli, vamos a estar nominados por los SACRO IMPERIO Awards con la princesa farandulera, vamos a tener más información sobre eso. I am very grateful for your participation, my brothers. Thank you so much for your friendship. Thank you so much for being a part of Listen to Me, the nominated show. Listen to me, que Dios me lo bendiga.